Hello, crypto world. It's Friday morning. Stock market opened down. Not a lot, but still 300 Dow points, and the S&P's down 0.5%. The reason? There was weaker than expected consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment dropped to 60.4 in January, and that was a decline of 10% and a steeper drop than many had anticipated. And it turns out that consumers are expecting inflation to be 3.5%, the highest since 1995. Now that's a 5-year inflation outlook, so that hit the market. Now let's jump over to crypto. Now crypto is basically green. It's not up as much as it was before. Take a look. This is an hourly chart. You see it's got all the way to 99.5. Now it's back down to 98.25. The reason it popped up, in part, Coinbase and the SEC came to an agreement to drop the lawsuit the SEC has against Coinbase, which is a very important thing. Now, I want to be very clear. This is what the staff at the SEC wants to do. It will most likely be approved higher up at the SEC, but it isn't an official fact yet. But it is highly likely to happen, and this sort of spiked up all crypto because obviously this is a good thing, and it shows that the new SEC administration is headed in the right direction, and we hope this is what happens with the lawsuit with Ripple, the appeal. Now, an interesting fact and something very important. And then when we go to Coinbase stock, when this news came out, the stock went down. And that suggests that the news was built in. And of course it's good that the investment community believes the SEC is going to drop its lawsuit not only against Coinbase, but all the other ones we know. But this does show you the question of what would happen if we had a Bitcoin reserve, because many people have been anticipating it. And ironically, if Bitcoin were to drop from where it is now, I think most of us would be unhappy. So the question on Bitcoin is, will it have the same experience that Coinbase had when the good news that the market believes is coming comes out? Will it back off? Selling the news is a regular phenomenon. I am going to put a footnote in why I don't think so, but I had to bring that up. The reason I don't think so is that when the U.S. government, if it does as we hope, puts Bitcoin on its balance sheet, what are they going to do? They are going to buy Bitcoin, and it will make other countries buy Bitcoin. This in and of itself, while great news, doesn't make people buy Coinbase stock. And one last thing I want to quickly mention, TikTok and how long it's going to exist is very unclear at the moment. So I am on YouTube. You can follow me here, but let's hope TikTok stays around because we all love it. Bottom line, though, on the markets, crypto's green, and I think it demonstrates the benefit of having a more crypto-friendly regulatory environment, though I am going to underline that much of what the new administration in theory will do may be built in as reflected to what happened to the Coinbase stock. I personally think in the case of the reserve, it is not, because the reserve will mean people will actually start buying. It's not just news. But bottom line, what a great green day.